My goal is to actually have a date for New Year's and have a kiss going into 2020. Maybe it's one of you guys, who knows? Hey guys, welcome to The Fumble. I'm Britt Johnson.
Hi guys, it's Devyn Howard.
Maybe there's some questions that you guys want to ask me that you don't know about me.
I am going to be answering some of your questions. I've got my phone here.
We actually asked you guys if you had any questions. We got some questions that my producer pulled, and here we go. I guess I'm going to answer these. So the first one is from a guy named Nate. He said, thoughts on the Carmelo Anthony signing? I think it's great. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be on the team, how well he's going to do, but go on Carmelo Anthony. I've always been a fan of Carmelo Anthony. I think he is a great player. I think last couple years he's, gotten a little prissy with just wanting to only be a starter. But now that he's had that break where he didn't have an NFL or NBA team, he's maybe got a little more humble. Blazers needed him, so we'll see how it goes.
Who is your favorite player? And I'm gonna have to say LeBron James. I know there's always this LeBron versus Michael debate, but he's had to contend with a lot higher talent than Michael Jordan did back in the early 90s. In 2019, we just have more talented players in the league, and he's puts up pretty impressive playoff statistics, and I kind of like that he's interested in doing stuff outside of basketball and has made an impact in entertainment, and he's just a pretty valuable player in my opinion.
From Temper King K, do you think the Warriors will ever be the same after all the injuries? Look at me here. The Warriors will never be the same again, because what the Warriors were is literally something that I don't think the league will ever see again. That team, with all the all-stars they had and how many great players they had on that team and how they were good on both sides of the ball, that's honestly, that literally was, if you could ever really create a real super team, that's it. That team could have itself just went to the Olympics and won gold medals. So I don't think anyone is ever going to see a team like that ever made again. I think most teams now and players now are kind of doing the thing where it's okay, me and maybe one other guy will team up together and take over a franchise. But I don't think we're going to ever see a space in the NBA for a team like that to be created ever again. And I just want to shout out Mark Jackson, because that was all you, buddy.
Okay, my favorite trait in a guy that I date. This is a good question. I would say compassion. I really want somebody who's kind and nice and compassionate. That's super important, so be nice, people.
Basketball Coverage asked, are y'all single? Well, I don't know who y'all is. If you're asking, Chris Clark is not single. I am single, but who knows for how long. I'm dating right now, so, I could not be single by the new year. My goal is to actually have a date for New Year's and have a kiss going into 2020. Maybe it's one of you guys, who knows?
Next question, Ben Simmons or Lonzo Ball, who is going to surprise us? Well, I think Ben Simmons has already done a good job of surprising us. He just scored his first three-pointer. I think he's kind of on track to have a more surprising season, if you ask me.
How did you come up with the name The Fumble? Well, I've been at The Fumble for a long time, since 100,000 subscribers. The day I started was when they hit 100,000 subscribers, but I wasn't there for subscriber number 1, so I don't know why they came up with that name. I know it kind of sounds weird with the coverage we do now, why we have the name The Fumble, but originally The Fumble, we kind of covered more football stuff. We covered tons of football stuff. We actually used to do Sunday football. We had to work on Sunday and cover Sunday football, and we don't do that now. Now we've kind of transitioned more into basketball, and I don't know if it's just because of the culture of football the last couple years with the Colin Kaepernick stuff and the domestic violence stuff, that we've kind of just stayed away from NFL drama the last couple years, just because this channel doesn't really want to get too serious and political. We're a fun, lighthearted channel. And that's kind of what the NBA's been the last couple years. So it might sound weird that, we should be called the jump shot or something, but we're The Fumble because originally we were a fumble. We talked about football mostly.
Who is going to win the Super Bowl? Okay, this is kind of a crazy one. I feel like it could be the Patriots or the Saints, but I'm not entirely sure. Just those are my predictions right now. Maybe the Patriots, just because they have that track record of winning Super Bowls. I don't know. I'd like to see somebody else win at this point.
I don't even know how to read your name. Do you think the Raiders have a legit playoff run if they keep playing like they have been the past couple of the games? Well, I actually did just say I do another thing called Britts Picks every week, and most people aren't realizing it, but the Raiders are doing relatively well the second half of the season, and I think they have a good shot to make the playoffs. Do I think they're going to get far in the playoffs? Absolutely not, but I do think they do have a shot of at least making it to like a wild card game.
Okay, what teams do you think will make it to the NBA Finals? Okay, I can see it being the Bucks or the 76ers. I think they're doing really well so far, and they've got really, really strong rosters. And versus the Lakers or the Clippers. Obviously, the Lakers and the Clippers are doing really, really well right now. We've got Kawhi on the Clippers. We've got LeBron and AD on the Lakers. I mean, I think it's going to be kind of a tough call between the two of them.
Who is Britt's second favorite basketball player? Well, Avery, that means you know who my first favorite basketball player is, which is Damian Lillard. My second one is, good question. I'm gonna obviously have to say it's a tie between PG and Kawhi Leonard. If you asked me like before this last season, I'm gonna say Paul George just because I went to college with Paul George. So I've always been a fan of his. But and defensively, I think he's good on both sides of the ball, but obviously Kawhi now because he plays for the Clippers. But I wasn't like a huge fan of Kawhi pre him coming to the Clippers, but I've always been a fan of Paul George, so I'll say Paul George.
Can you read some mean comments like Britt and Ty did? I could. I don't want to. I see some of those mean comments that you guys write in there, and I would definitely not like to read them out loud. I don't have a thick enough skin for that, I'm sorry.
Is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback to ever play? Who are you asking that question to? I am like the biggest Tom Brady hater in the world. Anything Patriots, I want everybody to beat the Patriots. I mean, nobody ever beats the Patriots. They have 2 asterisks on 2 of their Super Bowl appearances. That's all I'm saying about that. Do you think Odell should leave Cleveland? No. I mean, I hate when one bad season happens and people just want to give up on a team or on a player. Let them figure it out. They're all young guys still. And as you can see, as even this season has transitioned on, the Browns keep getting better and better. They're learning from their mistakes. Granted, yes, they do lead the league in penalties and all that kind of stuff, but I think they are figuring themselves out, and I think Odell should just hang in tight and see what happens.
Who do you think will win the NBA championship this year, and why? Okay, I have a feeling it's going to be the Clippers walking away with the title. I think Kawhi's got that acceleration from taking home the title last season, and he's probably going to be doubling down on Ben Simmons if it's the Clippers versus the Sixers. They've also got Paul George on the lineup, who's just an incredible player. So I think it will be a close game, obviously, but I think the Clippers are going to be the ones winning, and I think that's very exciting just being in LA. I know I'm a Lakers girl, but I do want to have the championship here in LA.
Who will win the Super Bowl this season? I don't like to really say stuff like that, but I'm always rooting for my Dallas Cowboys. Who knows what happens? I also think the Ravens will make it to the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say so far. Oh, opinion on how the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. I said what I said. Will the Cowboys give Dak Prescott a new contract, or will Dak look for another team? Yes, they will sign Dak. Dak will get, I think, $33 million. I think they're going to get away with doing this contract because they're going to franchise Amari Cooper for this next season, and then they'll sign Dak to his contract because both are going to be up for contracts. You got to figure out who you're paying. They're going to pay Dak for a long haul because he's a quarterback, and they'll franchise Amari Cooper. But we're going to keep both guys. Why don't you guys cover baseball or hockey? Can you, and why don't you? I try to so many times, but every time we do, we don't get a lot of views on the videos. So you guys watch the videos and we cover it. Anything you guys watch a lot, that's what we cover most of. So if you want to complain about why we cover certain things a lot, it's your fault.
What's one state you've never visited that you want to? To be honest, I haven't done a lot of travel here in the US. I'd like to visit Seattle. I'd like to go to Wyoming, which is kind of random, but I heard it's beautiful, and lots of other places. There's a lot of places on my list. Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. Where should I go? Let me know in the comments.
Meet and greet? Probably not. We actually did that a couple years ago for the Super Bowl. Didn't really work out too great, but maybe we'll do something like that in the future for the Fumble. What do you like on your tacos? Also hard or soft shell? I like hard tacos. My tacos, I do either veggie meat or just veggies like zucchini or black beans or something. And then I do lettuce. It has to be iceberg lettuce. I love iceberg lettuce. I don't know why. I like tomatoes on it. I like olives. I'm the weirdest person when I love olives on it. And then salsa and some avocado.
What are the benefits of being vegan for an athlete? Okay, this is the way to my heart. Well, vegan food, if you're eating a whole foods plant-based diet, is obviously going to be a lot cleaner than if you're like eating a bunch of meat and cheese. You just get cleaner protein. And a lot of people don't realize that when a cow is getting big and strong, it's eating plants. It's eating grass and like wheat and other things. It's not eating meat, so you don't necessarily need meat to build muscle. And I just think it's a healthier way of living, so you're gonna feel more energized. You're not gonna feel so weighed down by inflammatory foods like meat and like dairy. So go vegan, everybody.
What's one place you've never been to but want to visit? Italy, so I could get big and fat and eat pasta all day. Pasta is my favorite thing in the world to eat, so I would love to go to Italy. Also on that same trip, I also would like to go see Greece, but Italy, number one spot that I haven't been to that I want to go to. So, okay, those were simple questions. I like it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my Q&A. I hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about me. If you want to tell me a little bit more about yourselves, do so in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.